Welcome back to Digital Manzoor channel. If you are a business owner, marketer, coach, consultant, or founder, this video is going to help you make better use of something you already have. Your old leads, most businesses keep asking one question: how do we get more leads? But today, I want to ask you a different question: what happened to the leads you already generated? Because sometimes your next sale is not inside your next ad campaign; it is inside your old CRM. So in this video, I will show you how to look at thousands of old leads and decide when you should contact first, not randomly, not emotionally, but based on the intent. Imagine, imagine you are a CRM like this a messy note. If you see here left side screen, thousands names, thousand phone numbers, thousand old conversation. The first instinct is to say let's contact everyone, but that is where the trap start because if you treat all thousand leads the same, your message became a generic. Your team get tired. People don't respond, and quickly everyone say that old leads don't work. But maybe old leads are not the problem. Maybe sorting is the problem. Think of it like a fruit basket. Some fruits are ready to eat today. Some need more 2 more days. Some already spoiled. So you cannot treat all of them same. And leads are also like that. Some almost bought, some showed interest, some barely engaged, some are cold. So the goal is not to contact everyone. The goal is to the prioritize. This is the main rule. Strongest buying signal first. A person who booked a demo is not the same as someone who downloaded the free guide. The person who asked for pricing last week is not the same as someone who's opened one email 6 months ago. Both are leads, but their intent is completely different. Think of it like weighing scale. On one side you have someone who only downloaded PDF, and the other side you have someone who asked for price, spoke to your team and wanted payment option. Which side is heavier? Obviously the second one. So when you open your old lead list, don't ask who came first, ask who showed the strongest buying signal. That is where your follow-up should start. The first group is people who almost bought. These are your hottest old leads. They asked for pricing, they requested a proposal, they booked a sale, you know, they visited probably a property, they added a product to cart, they took a demo. These people are not random leads. They already understood your offer, they already gave time, they already came to close to decision. But something stopped them. Your job is to find what. For example, in real estate, a person visit a property, they like the location, they ask about the price, they ask about the payment plan, and then they say, I will discuss with my family. So your team calls once or twice, no response. So the lead is marked cold. But did they really say no? Maybe not. Maybe timing was wrong. Maybe pricing was the issue. Maybe they were comparing another project. Maybe nobody followed up in the right way. So this group should be contacted first. So this slide shows a very common journey. The person visit the property, they liked it, they asked the price, they need a time, then there is no reply. Most team stop there. They sent one boring message, hi, just following up, but honestly nobody feels excited to reply to that. Instead, ask better question. You checked our offer earlier but did not move forward. Was it mainly timing, or pricing, or did you decide another option? This is simple, but it works better because it gives the person easy choice. Timing, pricing, another option. Now they don't have to think too much. They can reply quickly. And your goal is here not to push the sale immediately. Your goal is to reopen the conversation because once the conversation restart, you can understanding the real block. Now, high intent leads. The second group is high intent leads. These people may not have reached the final sales conversation, but they showed strong interest. They attend your webinar. They stayed until the offer. They asked questions. They completed assignment. They used free trial. They watched your demo. They replied WhatsApp. These are not casual people. They showed some effort. But the mistake many businesses make is this: they send direct pitch immediately instead of give them reason to engage again. For example, if someone attend your webinar, don't send only "Are you interested to buy?" Send something useful, a checklist, a case study, a short educational video, a simple insight. So the goal is to warm up the relationship again, because sometimes people don't buy because they need more clarity, not more pressure. So this is the one my favorite example: finding hidden gold. Let's say 200 people register for your webinar, 80 attend, 20 stay until the offer, 8 ask questions, 3 buy. Most businesses celebrate the 3 buyers and forget everyone else. But look at the 8 people who asked questions. If 3 bought, that means the 5 people asked serious questions but did not buy. That is a hidden gold. They were not passive viewers. They were thinking, they were comparing, they were trying to understanding. So those 5 people deserve follow up, not with the pressure, but with the relevance. For example, you ask the questions during the webinar about follow up system. I created a simple checklist that may help you. That message feels personal. It connects to their behavior and it gives them the reason to respond. The third group is the past customers. And honestly, many businesses ignore this group most. But these people already crossed the hardest barrier. Trust, they already paid you once. That means they are not strangers. They know your business, they know your experience, they know your product and service. Now the question is simple. Why did they got come back? Maybe they had a great experience but forgot. Maybe they had a problem but never told you. Maybe there was no next offer. Maybe nobody checked in. For example, a customer visit your salon once, 8 months pass, they never return. Most businesses assume the customer is gone, but instead of assuming, ask, you visited us a few months ago, how was your experience? If they're happy, you can introduce the next service. If they had a bad experience, fix the problem before the selling again. The past customers are not cold leads, they are unfinished relationship. And fourth group is everyone else. This is usually largest group. Old forms, free downloads, webinar registration that never attend, add leads with no response, people who showed very little intent. Should you ignore them or not? No. But should your sales team spend most time here first? Also no. These people need warming before selling. Think of a tea. If the water is cold, you don't get immediately. You need to heat fast. Low intent leads are the same. Don't start with the hard sell messages. Send useful content first. For example, if someone downloaded your retention guide 6 months ago and sent them 3 signs your customers are quietly leaving. If they engage again, then move them to higher priority. The idea is simple: warm before selling. So here the simple ranking. It's a lead ranking. Level 1, almost bought. These are the highest priority because they moved close to decision. Level 2, high intent. These people engage strongly but did not enter the final buying conversation. Level 3, past customers. They already trusted the business once. Level 4 is low intent. They need warming before any direct sales outreach. So this ranking makes your old database much easier to handle. Instead of saying we have 1,000 old leads, you can say we have 70 people who almost bought. We have 130 high intent people. So we have a past customers and 700 people who need nurturing. Now your team knows where to start. So this slide makes your whole idea very clear. Instead of making 1,000 calls, start with the 70, because those 70 people are closest to buying. This is like a cleaning a messy room. You don't pick up every item randomly. You first remove the big visible things, then you sort the smaller items. Lead follow works the same way. First handle the strong opportunities, then move to the next group. If your team start with 1,000 people randomly, they will get tired. But if they start with the 70 almost bought leads, the works feel manageable. And the conversation are more meaningful because those people already have context. So you do not need complicated system to start. A basic sheet is enough. Add simple columns: name, last interaction, priority, next action. For example, Rahul asked for pricing. So Rahul is level 1. So next action is a personal follow-up. So Priya downloaded the guide 7 months ago. So Priya is level 4. So next action, send useful content. This simple shit can bring you a lot of clarity because most follow up fails not because people don't care. It fails because nobody knows what happened last time. A tracking sheet becomes your memory. It tells your team where the conversation stopped and what should happen next. Now, here the bigger point. You may not have a lead generation problem. You may have leakage journey. New leads enter, but follow-up stop. Old opportunity disappear, revenue leaks out. So the business keeps asking, how do we generate more leads? But the better question is, what happened to the leads we already generated? Imagine the pouring water into the pipe with holes. If water keeps leaking, adding more water is not real solution. So first, need to fix the pipe. In business, the pipe is your follow-up journey. If your journey leaks, more leads will only create a more lost opportunities. So the goal is not only the reactive old leads ones. The goal is to stop creating another forgotten database. For new leads, every person should have a clear next step. What did they do? What is their intent level? Who knows the follow up? What did they stop? For customers, every person should have a post purchase follow up. How was their experience? What is the next relevant offer? When should they be reactivated? This is how you build journey, not just a campaign. A campaign brings people in. A journey makes sure they don't disappear silently. That is where repeat revenue start. So let's bring everything together. You start with the 1,000 old leads, you segment them by intent, then you match the right message, then you restart conversation, then you create revenue opportunities. The best opportunity is your database may not be a newest lead. So it may be a person who has already one conversation away from becoming a customer. So don't treat old leads like a dead data. Treat them like unfinished conversation. So start with the people who almost bought, then high intent leads, then past customers, then warm the rest. And once you know who to contact first, the next question is what exactly should you say? That is what I will cover the next video. Until see you.